Ever get that weird feeling that you're not quite alone on your own device? That maybe it's having these secret conversations behind your back? Well, today, we're putting on our digital detective hats. We're going to dive right into the data streams of your PC and your phone to see if there are any uninvited guests hanging around. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it.
You got to think about it like this. Pretty much everything your computer or phone does online is a conversation. It sends out a request, it gets a response back. Simple enough, right? But what if there are whispers you can't hear? Malicious software, well, it often creates its own hidden chat channels to send your data out or to get new commands. So our mission today is to listen in on all the conversations and spot the ones that just don't belong.
All right, so to kick off our investigation, we're going to need the right kit. And just like any real-world detective work, the tools you use really depend on the environment. So we'll be looking at two totally different approaches. One for the deep dive power you get on a PC or Mac, and a more streamlined method for the unique world inside your mobile phone. Now, this is where things get interesting. On a PC, we use a tool called Wireshark. It is the absolute gold standard. It's like a super powerful microscope for your network traffic. But on your phone? No way. It's just too much of a resource hog. It would kill your battery and your phone's processor. Plus, mobile operating systems are locked down tight for security reasons. So instead, we use these lighter apps like Packet Capture, which are perfectly designed for a quick checkup on your phone's background chatter. Okay, first up, the big guns. We're heading to the desktop to hunt for intruders with Wireshark. This is where we can get incredibly detailed and, if we're lucky, follow the evidence trail right back to the source. All right, let's walk through this. First, you'll download and install Wireshark. Now, this is super important. You have to run it with administrator or sudo privileges, otherwise you won't see everything. Once you're in, you'll pick your active Wi-Fi or your Ethernet connection. And here's a pro tip. Before you hit start, close your browser, your email, shut down everything you can. This cuts down the background noise, which makes the suspicious stuff really stand out. Then, just click that shark fin icon to start, let it run for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and hit the red square to stop. Boom, you've just created your first piece of potential evidence. Okay, PC is done. Now let's tackle the device that's literally always in our pocket, our phone. The process here is a little different, but it's every bit as important. I mean, our phones are with us constantly, right? That makes them a prime target for spyware and all sorts of threats that love to operate silently in the background.
So on your phone, you'll install an app like Packet Capture for Android. When you start it up, it's going to ask for VPN permissions. Now, don't worry, it's not sending your data to some server. It's actually using your phone's built-in VPN function as a clever way to intercept and log all the network traffic locally right there on your device. So here's the crucial step. Once you start that capture, lock your phone and just walk away for 5 minutes. We want to see what it's doing when it's supposed to be doing nothing. That's usually when the bad stuff phones home.
All right, we've gathered our data from both the PC and our mobile. Now the real detective work begins, sifting through all that noise to find the hacker's digital footprints. So what exactly are we looking for in all this mess? Before we dig into the clues, you have to understand this one key concept, the command and control server, or what we call a C2. Think of it as the hacker's headquarters. A compromised device, basically a bot at this point, will regularly check in with this server to get new instructions or to upload any information it's stolen. Finding traffic going to a C2 server is like catching a spy red-handed, talking on a secret radio. In Wireshark, we use filters to zero in on these footprints. For example, if you filter for tcp.port equals 444, you're looking for traffic on a default port used by really common hacking tools. Or, the DNS filter checks all the web addresses your computer's trying to reach. This can help you spot lookups for these bizarre, totally nonsensical domain names, a classic sign a machine is trying to find its C2 server. And the ARP filter? That one can actually reveal if a hidden device, or even a virtual machine, is secretly running on your own network, maybe getting ready to launch attacks. Now on mobile, the indicators are pretty similar, but they're tailored to the device. You're looking for connections to IP addresses in unusual countries, or maybe a high volume of UDP packets, which can be a sign that information is being smuggled out really fast. But here's a really chilling one. Seeing media packets labeled RTP.payload when your phone is locked and should be completely idle. I mean, those are the packets that carry audio or video. That could mean something is secretly using your microphone or camera. And look, this isn't just theory. Here's a real-world example from a case study in 2023. A user saw traffic on port 1337. That's a port number hackers often use as a kind of inside joke, and it was going to Belarus. So they followed that data stream, and they found the exact command that was running a keylogger on their machine. This stuff works. It's how you catch them.
So, let's say your hunt was successful. You found something strange, a connection that just should not be there. What do you do now? This right here is the most critical part of the entire process.
But first, just take a breath. Seriously, according to the security firm Kaspersky, a staggering 92% of cases where people think their device is hacked are actually just credential theft. That means a hacker has your password for an online account like your email or social media, but they don't actually have control of your physical computer or phone. So while we absolutely have to act, we also need to keep a clear head.
Okay, if you've found credible evidence, the very first step is containment. Disconnect that device from the internet immediately. Pull the plug on your PC or swipe on airplane mode on your phone. This cuts the intruder's connection, and crucially, do not delete anything. That log file you made, that's evidence now. Back up your essential stuff like photos and documents, and then export those capture logs. You're going to need them.
So, why are we being so careful about preserving all this? Because your digital detective work can give law enforcement the hard, technical data they need to track down and even prosecute cybercriminals. That little packet capture you made could be the key piece of evidence in a much, much larger investigation.
And these aren't just some generic contact forms. These are specialized cybercrime units. In the US, you report to the FBI's IC3. In the UK, it's action fraud. And across the EU, you can contact Europol or your national police. When you give them your logs, the suspicious IP addresses, and timestamps, you're giving them actionable intelligence. And just a quick but really important reminder here, everything we've talked about today is for detection, not prevention. It's a way to check if the locks on your doors have already been picked. This doesn't replace the basics, like having strong antivirus software, using a VPN for privacy, and just being really careful about what you click on in the first place. Look, your devices are constantly talking, sending thousands of packets of data every single minute. Most of it is just harmless noise, but sometimes, hidden deep in that static, there's a whisper that can give the whole game away. The only question is, are you ready to listen?